Good afternoon, everybody. It's your boy, Peete. Happy Friday to everybody. Thank you for joining me on this fine Friday evening. 3 more days till the big game. This is the Friday Night Beer Stream call-in show. If you want to call into the show, you can see the number on the screen there, 864-207-4522. A disclosure here, anybody who has young kids, you know the deal. I've got a 4-year-old that's running around here like a wild banshee. If he interrupts the show, sorry, nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. But, of course, this show is driven by the callers. If you're an LSU fan, if you're an Ohio State fan, if you're a Clemson fan, if you're a fan of any team, there's a lot going on. We got transfers out the wazoo. We've got Mike Leach going to Mississippi State. We got all kinds of stuff going on in college football, even though the season is over. A lot of times that 1 or 2 weeks just following the end of the regular season and the bowl season has a lot of activity. So if you have any thoughts on any of that, feel free to call in and let me know your thoughts. And if we don't get any calls, we'll end this stream very, very soon. If you're an LSU fan, again, this might be the last time between now and Monday that you have a chance to share your thoughts with me. I know a lot of you have a lot of things to say, or at least you do in the comments section. Let me see who is in the chat here real quick, and then I will see if anybody is on the phone lines. Tiger Nation's in the house. Complete control. Let's go. LSU is Death Valley. Even though they tried to copy us, they didn't know how to spell death. Edward Craven's in the house. Clemson Tigers. How you doing, sir? Marco Polo. Robert Zurith. Rick Williams. This should boil down to a knockdown, drag-out fight. At least we won't see any pencil necks in this game. I know what he's referring to, but I'm not going to say. Zephyr. I'm just going to call you Zephyr. What's up, Tiger fans? I'm so ready for Monday. I'm assuming you're talking about Clemson Tiger fans. The whole Tiger thing is getting confusing. That brings me to another point. I was listening to some of the prop bets on the radio today with Chris the Bear Felica. One of the prop bets that you can bet on, of course you can bet on anything. I mean, you could probably bet on what color shoelaces the cheerleaders are wearing if you really want to. But one of them was over or under, how many times will they say the word Tiger on the live broadcast? Over or under 150. You would think it would be over because both teams are Tigers, but they might not say Tigers a lot because you can't differentiate between the two. So I think you'll hear a lot more of either Clemson or LSU as opposed to Tigers, but we'll see. There's a lot of other crazy bets you could bet on. So you could bet on whether or not they'll show Odell Beckham Jr. on the live broadcast, which I think they probably will. I think he'll be there. Shaquille O'Neal, all of that. LSU Tiger Cat, what's up? Ballard Sports Media, also known as Christian Ballard. What's up, Pete? What's up, Christian? Billy Dawson's in the house. How you doing, sir? DeGoat Watson's here. Paul Quick says, go Clemson. Well, go Clemson. And it looks like that might be all the people that are in the chat right now. Let me check the phone lines. Again, these call-in shows, I don't prepare anything to talk about. It's all driven by the callers. So if there's no calls, I'll answer some questions in the chat. Until that gets old, and then I'll stop the stream if nobody calls. So if you got something to say, now is your chance to do so. What's up? I always have a problem pronouncing your name. Aberdoff says, go Clemson Tigers. What's up, Michael Sachs? Complete Control is bragging about theft, and I'm the damaged one. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Listen, there's a lot of storylines in this game. I'm sure everybody has gone over most of these talking points to nauseum. I mean, you're talking about the games in New Orleans. Obviously, LSU's first trip to the national championship in the playoff era. Huge game for them. I mean, the whole story with Joe Burrow and obviously Ed Orgeron is a huge story. Clemson also has a chance to make history if they win this game. 3 out of the past 4 national championships. I think there's only 2 other teams that have done that ever. One of them is Notre Dame. and I can't think of what the other one is. I don't know. Nice Guy TV with a $2 super chat says, "What is good? What's up, DeAndre Crawford?" Also known as Nice Guy TV. Clemson is the real Death Valley. We always have been. I don't even know why that. I haven't spent a whole lot of time talking about that because it's really not even a discussion at this point. I mean, Clemson's the first Death Valley. I mean, even LSU fans know that. So that's the reason I haven't spent a whole lot of time on that. I don't really think that's relevant, quite honestly, or very interesting, except for the fact that to some LSU fans it seems to be a point of interest. So it's not to me. Looks like I got a couple of calls here. I'm going to take them in the order they came in. Good afternoon. You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete.
Yo.
What's up, man? My name is Josh, man. I'm an LSU fan. I wanted to go ahead and give you a call. I missed the first one, so
all right.
I wanted to go ahead and put my 2 cents in, man. But I listened to your videos. I came across you because you came across like the trending topic on my YouTube page. But man, you just like most of other Clemson fans, man. I can understand why you feel like the team is one of the best in the world, but I feel like you guys ain't gonna be ready for the Tigers, the LSU Tigers, that is, on Monday. It's just the few games that I have watched of y'all, the two that were formidable opponents, mm-hmm. Texas A&M and Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Could not score more than 30 points against the two formidable opponents. You ran the score up against all the bum teams they played, but against the two formidable teams, you struggled a bit. Even in the Ohio State game where you got a lot of gifts, you struggled a bit. Okay. LSU is going to eat regardless.
Okay.
Will you guys be able to keep up?
Well, I think so. I think that everything that's happened with both of these teams for the majority of the year is completely irrelevant. So that's where I'll disagree with you. And
okay.
Also, LSU has shown, if you want to talk about what happened earlier this year with Clemson, LSU has shown to give up a lot of points to inferior teams all year long. You're talking about Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, Texas. Alabama's not inferior, but you gave up a lot of points to them too. So how does that not play into your theory about what's going to happen?
I figured you would say something like that. I mean, but you can read into this or feel however you want to feel about this. I feel like health plays a big part in that. LSU, I got way healthier towards the end of the season, and that's also why I think the defense has played a lot better the last 5 games. But you can hold the Vanderbilt thing against us. You can hold the Texas thing against us. But, the same thing Oklahoma fans were saying, our defense was bad. Their offense was pretty much held in check for most of that game. I think they scored 14 points in garbage time. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I mean, they only got to score 2 touchdowns. The team has averaged over 40 points a game. But, we'll see. I like Clemson, but before I go, I want to give you my final score. I feel like y'all are definitely going to be able to score points. But I got LSU 49, Clemson 35.
Okay. All right, 49-35. I think that's obviously, I don't agree with that, but at least unlike a lot of LSU fans, at least you're saying 35 on Clemson's side. But you got to.
Yeah, I don't think they're not going to stop them. We're not going to stop, guys.
Yeah, and you got to understand where I'm coming from because just put yourself in Clemson's shoes, okay? If LSU had been to 5 straight playoffs, 2 national championships, and skull drug Alabama last year when Alabama was supposed to be the best offense, this century with Tua Tagovailoa, and we saw what happened in that game. If you were a Clemson fan, why would you not be confident going into this game? I mean, you got to understand where we're coming from too.
I definitely understand it. But one thing I will say, as somebody who played the game at the Division I level, I definitely understand that everything that plays a part in that. You can't help what division you played in. You guys play in the ACC. You hear all the things about the ACC. It's just unfortunate that everybody else in your division isn't that great, but y'all are a good team. It's just that, I don't know. I don't think this year, matching up with LSU, I just don't see it happening. But Clemson's a great team. I don't want to sit here and sound like a hater on the phone, but I do believe LSU should win by 2 or more scores. We'll see.
All right. Well, thanks for the call, by the way. After the game, I hope you come back. I'll be back. I got a YouTube channel. I ain't going nowhere. But I hope you come back, win or lose.
You got good content, man. Keep it up, and I appreciate you taking my call.
All right, man. I appreciate it. There you guys have it. That was Josh, the LSU fan, calling to give us his 2 cents. And obviously, I don't agree with everything he said, but he's entitled to his opinion. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the next call. Good afternoon. You're on with Pete.
Oh, hello?
Yo.
Oh, yeah. Hi. I didn't. I'm kind of new to this. So I didn't know if I was on or not. Yeah, I have a question, kind of a long-winded question about Oklahoma in the playoffs. So I'm on record as thinking even before the season started, that Oklahoma really, I didn't think we had much of a chance to really go for the national championship. Just too much rebuilding, and honestly, I don't think we're even that good at the end of the season. I mean, the way our offense really wasn't, I don't think was all that great towards down the stretch, and defense has improved, but still not that great. So, like, on one hand, I think, they just got, blown out by a better team, but I'm also like, even though I can see them, offensively coming back to next year, being back to where they should be with the right quarterback, and if the defense keeps improving, they could really have a better chance. But do you think, like, from what you saw, I assume you watched at least the first half of the game before it got boring?
Yeah, I did.
Did it look like? I mean, I feel like I'm wondering if I should be concerned about the way Oklahoma approaches these games, because it feels like they should have at least been more competitive. Even though LSU is definitely better, it feels like they should have been more competitive. Like, and what the suspensions plays into that too, because I look at it, it's like, you don't see Clemson or Ohio State or LSU having players failing drug tests. It's like, because they're focused. They were the team that could afford to lose a few players. We were the one team that could not afford to lose anyone, and that shows to me like a lack of focus and that taking it seriously.
Well,
and I don't know if you, and I wonder. Oh, sorry. I'll let you.
Yeah. I mean, I see where you're going with this. I had a conversation last week on the call-in show with an Oklahoma fan. His name is Coulter Gass. He calls in frequently. And look, it just wasn't Oklahoma's year. Like, Lincoln Riley will get things turned around. They have a defensive problem. They've had it for years. That's a Big 12 problem that I think is going to take some time to figure out. But as far as the offense goes, look, here's the bottom line for this year. If you're anybody not named Ohio State, Clemson, or LSU, you just didn't have a chance this year. It doesn't matter if it was Oklahoma, Alabama, Oregon, whoever you want to put in that fourth spot. It's just not Oklahoma's year. And honestly, I love Jalen Hurts as a football player and as a guy. I think he's a great guy and all of that. But he's not somebody that's going to win a national championship in an Oklahoma-style offense. They need a passer. And I know he's a great football player and all of that. He's just not. Listen, this Spencer Rattler kid you guys have is miles ahead of what Jalen Hurts is going to be as far as a passer. This guy's a freak arm. He reminds me a lot of Patrick Mahomes with the crazy stuff he can do with his arm. So that's more conducive to what Lincoln Riley needs to do on offense. The offense is not going to be an issue going forward for Oklahoma. It's the defense. Now, I don't know how to fix that. I don't think it's going to be fixed in a year or two. I think it's going to be take longer than that. But through recruiting and all that. So that's how I feel about Oklahoma.
Yeah, and I good grief. Sorry. I'm driving right now, and I'm getting a lot of people upset. Yeah, I agree with a lot of that. The thing that concerns me is. I wonder what you think about this, because I expected, at the very least, with all the criticism that OU was getting going into the game and all the doubt, and obviously for good reason, but I expected them to really come out on fire. Like, I expected them to look like Braveheart coming out there, just in full rage, just ready to prove, and I just everyone wrong, and I didn't see that at all. Like, that concerned me.
Well, you should be concerned, but
Oh,
again,
no.
missing all those players on top of the fact that, like I said, Jalen Hurts can't pass his way back into a game when they get down. I mean, LSU's just that good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a perfect storm of things. Listen, Oklahoma really never had a chance. I thought, possibly they could keep it somewhat close for the first half, but I was completely wrong. Once they got down by 3 touchdowns, it was over. And so, it is what it is. But I don't think that Oklahoma fans should be, crying or, throwing in the towel in the next couple seasons. They'll still probably run the Big 12 the next couple years. And, they just got to find a way to get it done in the playoffs, but they need a defense to do that. But I'm going to have to let you go because I got a couple of people that are on hold, but I appreciate the call.
Okay, thanks.
All right, man. Thank you. All right, I see a call from, I think this is Tiger Cat.
Hey, Pigskin Pete, how's it going?
Hey, what's up? You know what, Tiger Cat? I think. Let me think back. It's been a couple of years now. I think you're the first actual solo female caller to ever call into the show. I know I've had.
Really?
Yes, I think I've had a female college football maniacs girlfriend, Miranda Dansby, has got on the phone with me after he called me, but you're the first female to ever call me, and that's a problem. I need to fix that. What do I do to get more females to call in?
Well, I don't know. I guess you need more female Clemson fans. I don't know. Because mostly in your chat room, I see Clemson fans.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I just wanted to, you know me. I mean, you don't know me. We've never actually spoken before. Obviously, I'm a first-time caller here.
Right.
But you, Bobby Durkins, Tiger Nation in the chat room, Prince, 6'4". I mean, I have a lot of Clemson fan friends on here. I know, believe me, okay, not all LSU fans are jerks, okay?
Yeah, I know that.
I am nervous about this game. I believe in my squad. I am not dissing my squad. I think, I believe we will win, okay? I have to. All right. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm 100% confident or anything like that, because y'all are going to be the team we play all year, the most complete team, the most experienced team. Well,
other than
Alabama
Alabama,
was experienced.
Right? Yeah.
Well, but Alabama had such a young defense this year, so we were a little bit more even keel this year. Like if they would have had their defense, like our defense was, stellar last year, and we've been waiting for an offense for over a decade, right? Mm-hmm. And Alabama has always kind of been good on both sides of the ball, and now here, I think what's happening with, and I'm not making excuses for really nasty LSU fans, because really, I mean, I grew up in Louisiana. I went to the games. People really are cool, and they're nice, and they enjoy the games, right? I think that people are just overexcited because we've never seen anything like this. I mean, the last time we saw anything even close to a team like this was in 2007, and then in 2008 we won the Natty against Ohio. But we lost 2 games that was when it was still the BCS, okay, right, or the BCS championship. And, but we had 2 losses, but we beat Ohio State. And everybody was going to say, oh, you're going to play Ohio State. You're going to play Ohio State. Well, you know what? I'm glad we didn't. Because what I saw, well, for 2 reasons. From what I saw, I think the Ohio State fans, they're still messing with y'all. I think they're worse than us. Do you honestly think that we're worse than them?
I don't know. I know a lot of Ohio State fans personally. You wouldn't believe the amount of Ohio State people that live in South Carolina. So I'm surrounded by them all the time. And, next to the South Carolina fans, that's the people I have most contact with on a daily basis. So I'm used to them. I'm not used to LSU fans. I did go to the Peach Bowl in 2012 and partied with some LSU fans, but that was just for one day. And we had a great time. I mean, listen, they were fun, other than, the trash talking. Of course, during that game, they thought, they said all the same things they're saying now. Clemson plays in the ACC. They can't handle the SEC size and this and that. But, of course, that was before Clemson was a national powerhouse. That was right. Actually, that was like the very beginning of that happening. But I don't really have a whole lot of experience with LSU fans. Listen, when it comes to YouTube, you get it from all angles, so I can't really tell you which one's worse than the other. Every fan base has idiots in it, and I know that. I try to exploit the ones that I can exploit to my benefit or for comedic value. And that was really easy to do with Ohio State because of the history with them. We don't really have a history with you, with the LSU fans in the recent years, other than that Peach Bowl, and that really didn't mean that whole much. So, I don't know.
Well, I actually dated an Ohio State fan, so I mean, they're not all terrible. Every fan base has their bad ones. And then when you read my comment in the comment section, I was just responding to one troll in your chat room that was bothering me. So, if somebody's going to troll me, I'm going to troll right back, but I don't usually start it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, to me, it's a game. It's my favorite game. I love college football. And, of course, I want to see us win the whole thing. I want to see us good to the end. And, okay, this is what I was going to tell you, too. Besides the Ohio State fans, I was glad y'all won because we are going to be playing the reigning champions, okay? So if we win, that leaves all doubt for any fan base to say that we are not the number one team in the country.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
I agree with you.
And I don't have a channel like this. I just put on stupid videos. I love Snapchat videos. Okay, so I'll put like dumb little videos and stuff on there. But I even put a video up recently. Tiger Nation, he always comes in. He loves my stuff because he's awesome, right? But and he can even tell you, I said that I feel it's an honor to play y'all. It's an honor to play y'all. I'm glad we're playing y'all. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be what was the word you used the other day? I'm having a brain fart. What's the like a toss up, basically?
Yeah.
I mean, we have, and I know y'all's defense probably, well, it is very likely better than ours. But I'm so happy that our defense has gotten better over the last month and that we're going to have Divinity back, so that's going to help us. But I think it's our quarterbacks that this game is really kind of...
Yeah, the two best quarterbacks in college. They're the two best quarterbacks in college football this year. And you could throw Tua in that category if he didn't get hurt, but he did get hurt, so you can't compare him. But yeah, I mean, listen, Lawrence and Burrow, these are both going to be first picks overall in the draft. And we'll probably see them battle it out in the NFL for years to come, for their respective teams. But, if I were an LSU fan, I would be confident too. Why shouldn't you be? I mean, listen, this has been a magical year. And coming from where you guys came from, like you said, a few years ago, the whole debacle with the whole, the last couple of years with Les Miles, and then the first couple of years with Orgeron, he was trying to get things figured out on offense. You still had a good defense. And, for them to make that jump from where they went 2 years ago when you lost to Troy till now has been one of the fastest turnarounds on offense that you can imagine that I've maybe ever seen in college football. So, listen, LSU fans should be excited and they should be confident. I don't blame anybody for that. That my whole issue is, and listen, I don't. People can say whatever they want. If it's trash talking and you want to say they're going to beat Clemson 100-0, listen, that's fine. Trash talking is trash talking. My issue is I question people's real college football knowledge outside of their team if they think that they're going to go in there and blow out the Clemson Tigers. I just don't. I don't see that happening.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is with me, this year has been so unbelievable for us. Like, because y'all have won two of the last three Natty games, right?
Mm.
Two of the last three.
Right.
Y'all have been Alabama and Clemson. I expected last year, okay, we're going to see Alabama and Clemson again next year. You know, until Trevor Lawrence is gone, we're going to see Alabama and Clemson, you know. Because, I mean, I know y'all have other good players, but when I saw Trevor Lawrence playing in that Natty game last year, I was like, oh my, who is this guy? You know, because I didn't really follow y'all. You know what I'm saying? I basically followed my LSU Tigers. And then I found Uncle Lou, and that's how I found you last year. And then I started following all these teams and getting more into it. Because I'll be honest, I watch college football like a girl, and I want to learn more about it. I want to really learn the ins and outs. And I'm like, nobody's going to beat this guy, you know. But then Joe Burrow went from average Joe to Superman the whole. I just, when I watch them play, I get the chills. It's like watching. I just never seen anything like it. And then, you know, Joe Burrow went in the Heisman, the awards, all this. I just wanted so bad to end on a good note where we win, because I think it would just be the icing on the cake for our season, for this. Because let's face it, if we lose this game, people will remember all that other stuff, but it won't be the whole package. Do you know what I'm saying? It won't be like LSU's legendary record-breaking season. It'll just be little tidbits. It'll be Joe Burrow. It'll be, you know, what Ed Orgeron did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think
y'all are used to winning.
Well, we're used to winning recently, but I've been a Clemson fan my whole life, so I'm not used to winning all the time. That's the reason I don't take this for granted. 20 years of mediocrity in my life. That's the reason I'm so passionate about them winning now, and that's the reason I defend them the way that I do now, is because of all those years of heartache and misery. But listen, the bottom line, no matter who wins this game, these are two great teams, and I don't think LSU's going anywhere. Now, they have a quarterback position to fill. Obviously, Burrow's leaving this year. But they're recruiting at a high level. Orgeron's there to stay. We'll see what happens with Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator. There's talk that he might get some offers as an offensive coordinator in the NFL. It's going to be hard to keep him there because he's wanted by everybody. He's wanted by college coaches or organizations. He's wanted by NFL organizations. So he's going to go where the money's at eventually. But either way, LSU's not going anywhere anytime soon. The problem is, with LSU, it doesn't matter how good they are in the years to come. As long as Saban's in Alabama, they have to compete with him. And there's a couple of other teams in the West, maybe Texas A&M, that have something to say about that in the future too, who are also recruiting really well. And Jimbo Fisher's obviously a national champion winning coach as well. So they play in a tough division, so it's a harder road to get to the playoff than Clemson would have, or Clemson has had in the past few years. But they're not just going to fall off the map when Joe Burrow leaves. They'll be in the mix in one way or another. Yeah.
Yeah, like I hate it when I see people say that, because I see people say that in the chat room, and I'm not saying from Clemson fans necessarily, from any other fan base. Oh, when Joe Burrow leaves, y'all are just going to be nothing. That's a load of crap. That's not true. I mean, yes, Joe Burrows, Trevor Lawrence, Tua's, they come once in a lifetime. You don't get quarterbacks like that all the time. Those are very rare. But it takes more than a quarterback to make a great team. And even Joe Burrow said that in his Heisman speech. He goes, I wouldn't even be here without my O-line, and it's true, because he'd be on the ground and he wouldn't be able to throw the ball if he was getting, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if he's getting tackled and all this stuff. So he's a great quarterback, but I'm just amazed by him. I'm amazed by this team this year. but they all work in sync together. We're still going to be good. I don't know if we'll make it to the playoffs next year, but I would be shocked as you know what. I'm trying to keep it because this is a clean show.
You're good. You're fine.
I'll be shocked if we don't at least make a New Year's Six game. You know what I'm saying? But I think that we will still be good, and I think the guy we have that's coming up, I think his name is Miles, is going to be good, and we're keeping a lot of our people too. So yeah. It's going to be a good game, and win or lose, I'll be here to either congratulate y'all or eat my crow or whatever. I really do hope we win, and I see. I could kind of understand how y'all felt the disrespect this season because, you're like, people say we don't play nobody. People say we don't play nobody, Well, you can't, first of all, you can't help who's you can't help the teams that you play the teams that you're scheduled. But if you're still winning the Natty, you're still beating Alabama, you're still beating these powerhouse teams, obviously you know what you're doing. Okay. But I think people have just, because we have been so second tier we've always been in Alabama's shadow for the last decade plus. I want to prove all the naysayers wrong because up until the last month, nobody took us seriously. Not even even after we beat Alabama. They still said we weren't going to win. They still said we weren't going to beat Georgia in the SEC because defense wins championships, and their defense was top 5. Well, we beat them by 3. Was 21 points, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, you got to have an offense too. I got a couple of other calls to get to, but before I let you go, though, what's your final score prediction for the game?
Yeah, I just want to win. Even if I win by 1 point, I'm bad at score predictions. So your score predictions,
your score prediction is 1-0.
No. Okay, let me guess. 30. Let me see. 33 to 41. I'm just gonna make up a.
All right, so
I'm making up.
All right, so 33 to 41, Clemson. I got it. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Tiger Cat. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Good afternoon. You're on with Pete.
Pete, it's DeAndre. How you doing, bro?
What's up, DeAndre? How you doing, brother?
Hey, man. Hey, remember the Chronic 2 where Dr. Dre said, like, they talk about guns like we ain't got none? LSU and Southeast and the rest of the Southeast Conference talk like we don't got a bunch of 5-stars and 4-stars too, man. I mean, and the way they making it sound is like, don't get me wrong, I respect LSU, and like you and Bobby have said, it's a great story. Stingler was a great quarterback. They got a good running back. They got a great system that this quarterback is driving in. I would be careful with taking him number one because look at Murray and what's the dude at Cleveland. But you gotta be careful of quarterbacks that put up good numbers. David King was another one. You gotta be careful of taking quarterbacks like that.
Listen, I'll defend Joe Burrow in that way. Listen, he's got the size, he's got the arm, he's got the pocket presence, he's got the smarts, he's got the intangibles. I think Burrow's going to be a good pro. I don't think he's going to be a bust.
You got to say you got to be careful. I don't give a damn about the Bengals. They can take. I'm still a fan in the pros. They can take whoever they want to. I hope they suck. But I'm just saying, you just got to be careful when you take quarterbacks off of just numbers like that. I mean, DeMarcus Russell put a monster number to look at what he turned into.
Look, I mean,
not saying bro don't have to work at it.
Joe Burrow should be good. He's like 36 years old. I mean, this guy's he's been in college football since 1987.
Yeah. But I hear LSU fans on my channel, your channel, Mark, talk about it. But like that guy shared with you, Top Billy, he's a Georgia fan, and he goes over all the teams. He does a great job. And what I'm saying is,
who you said Top Billing?
Top Billing.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, he's real good.
Yeah, he's real good. He's angry.
Yeah.
He's real angry though. He's an angry guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, angry.
Yeah, I don't pay that no attention. If some people you just got to ignore the rest of them, but he does a good job at what he do. But my point is, like you said, Joe Burrow threw the ball a lot more than Trevor Lawrence played into the fourth quarter a lot, and they threw the ball. But this is my problem with LSU fans. Like you 2 callers ago, like what he was saying about saying that LSU defense people wasn't healthy and stuff like that. Clemson was replacing a lot of plays. Clemson has played more freshmen and sophomores than anybody else in the country. So their system was developing throughout the year. So on defense, and we had number 1 defense. So we got to look at stuff like that, but you got to look at your team too. And Clemson can't help who they play. And I'm tired of hearing that too. But only bad omen I got for Clemson is every time I win the fantasy football, I think I told you this before, we lose. Clemson lose the national championship game. And I think we ever won a national championship in a dome.
Is
all
it
of them outside?
Let's see. Santa Clara, Tampa. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yep. Yeah, Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I worry about. I look at those types of crazy trends. We never won one in the dome.
You think the fact that there's a roof over that thing has anything to do with it?
Hey, I don't know. Hey, we lost twice, so
hey, look,
with 2.
Look,
hey,
hey, listen. Everyone said the number 1 seed is never won, and then everyone says the team that wears their school colors, the colored jersey on top, has never won. The Heisman Trophy winner is doesn't normally win. Well, one of them things or 2 of them things is going to happen no matter what this year because Clemson's wearing all orange. Yeah. LSU's number 1. We're playing in a dome. Joe Burrow won the Heisman. I don't pay attention to none of that stuff. It comes down to talent and coaching and who produces on the field. I don't pick 4-leaf clovers. I don't put my tooth under my pillow when I lose it. I don't believe in Santa Claus. None of that. And I definitely don't believe anything football superstition. So.
Yeah, but also you forgot one. A 3 seed has never won it.
3 seeds never won it either.
Yeah, 3 seeds never won.
Yeah. I guess who has won it though?
Clemson.
Sunshine. So I believe in that superstition.
Yeah. Like I said, I just can't wait. This is going to be a great game. And I don't think it's going to be as high scoring. And I was listening to some, because I gamble a lot. And I was listening to see who to put my money on. And I don't know if I heard you say it or some other channel. It was saying that if LSU is a negative 0.55 favorite. Mm-hmm. But he said that's mainly public money going on LSU.
What you got?
The Sharks are taking Clemson.
Yeah, what you got to look at is the opening line. The opening line was, I think, 3 or 3.5. So that's the opening line's all that matters as far as what the Sharks think, right? So it can go up. It can go up to 14 points. That don't mean anything. It's 3.5, but 3.5 is Clemson has been. This is their 7th playoff or national championship game. They've covered.
Underdog in all of them.
They've covered 6 out of the 7, and they've won, I think, 5 of them outright. So, if you're a gambler, then Clemson's the one to take. As far as the money line goes, that doesn't mean they're going to win. But as far as the bet goes, you should take Clemson if you're a gambler. I'm not betting because I don't bet on my team. So.
Right, yeah, I had to get away from that too, but then also I saw how much they were destroying everybody this year, so I had to start putting my money on Clemson. But I think it's going to be a great game. People, as college football fans, and I know we lose our whole offensive, like 4 of our 5 offensive line. We lose ETN, he's going pro. Higgins is going pro. Simmons is going pro. But we return a lot of players next year. And, you know, we returned Trevor Lawrence and Higgins, and Rogers already said he's coming back. We got 2 good freshman receivers. I'm just waiting for – I don't know what's going on with Latz. And, yet everybody came in saying he's looking like Sammy Watkins, but I haven't seen him play lately. So I don't know what's going on there. But,
they're just too deep. They haven't needed them. He'll get some time.
Yeah.
He'll get some time. As far as losing players, I've been hearing that same song and dance since 2011 probably. You lost this guy, you lost that guy, you lost that guy. You're going to suck now. So look, recruiting and developing players the way that Clemson does, they're not. It don't matter who they lose. They're not going nowhere.
That's what I'm saying though, because the year that we lost Beasley and all them guys that had the number 1 defense, I don't think we're going to have but one returning starter. We went to the national championship game, and I think that was probably, to me, the best Clemson team that I ever seen. The one with Shaq Lawson senior year, with Alexander and what's Tankersley at DBs. And that team, that was probably, to me, that was Clemson's best team I ever seen. But but we lost all them guys, and we came back strong. So, yeah, we're doing a great job of developing players. Yeah. But I'm just saying, you know, Clemson the next couple of years with DJ coming in, we're gonna be good. But people should just sit back and enjoy this game because it's gonna be awesome.
I agree.
It's not gonna be a blowout.
I agree.
And it's not gonna be 45-40. It's gonna be like 35-31.
I don't know, man. Most of these championship games have been pretty high scoring. So I think it will be higher scoring, but I don't know. We'll see. But listen, I got a couple of calls, and I want to get all these I can, so I'm going to let you go, but I appreciate the call, brother.
But the only one that been high scoring was Alabama, and that was because of the special teams, though. So, but all right, Pete.
All right. Thanks, man. Good afternoon. You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete. This is Alex. I'm a first-time caller.
Hey, what's up, Alex? I appreciate you calling.
Yeah, man, I love your show, man. I really enjoy it. Well, I'll get right to the point, man. I know you got people waiting.
All right.
But I just wanted to say, man, as far as my thoughts, I think LSU is going to have to win this one in, like, the first quarter and a half.
Okay.
Clemson tends to start out slow.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. We just got to get a feel, but that's just how we play. And even Ohio State fans kept telling us, like, look, y'all probably going to come out and score 10 points first. I didn't bank on that 16, but that's how they came out. But once we started scoring again, I was like, yeah, y'all lost. And we outscored them 29-7 towards the end of the game. That's no coincidence.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree that we don't want to get into a big deficit with LSU because, that'll be hard to come back from because they'll keep scoring. I do agree with that part. The only thing that doesn't worry me if they do get down 7-10 or something like that in the first quarter is the halftime adjustments or the adjustments overall as the game goes on from Brent Venables. I mean, you look at the second half stats for Clemson's defense throughout this year. I mean, you're talking about, I don't even know. I read the stat the other day. I don't have it written down, so I can't quote it. It's ungodly. Only in the third and fourth quarter, I think there's only been like 21 points scored on Clemson all year. That's unbelievable. So all the damage that anybody scored on Clemson this year was pretty much in the first half. And we saw that with Ohio State too. Now I realize, they probably could have had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. That might have made a difference in that score. But as far as defense against offense, Clemson's defense in the second half is unbelievable. So even if they get down 10 to 14 points in the first half, that's not good when you're talking about an LSU offense that can score at will on most people. But it's not, the game's not over. But I agree with you. They need to go into halftime, either with a lead or with a very, very slight deficit to most likely come out with a victory.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. I think that a lot of people are talking about LSU's offense versus Clemson's defense, and they might list, Isaiah Simmons as the X factor, maybe even Trevor Lawrence or Etienne. But I think the real X factor is just Clemson's offensive scheme and play calling in general, because we tend to be really conservative, especially the first quarter is really a huge mark of that, and a lot of offense likes to function outside the hashes, and those are really harder throws. We like to let our athletes try to beat whoever's in front of them versus try to scheme them open the way LSU does. But I do give our staff a lot of credit. We do take plays from other teams, and we run them well. Like those drag routes and stuff that we ran against Alabama, we hadn't really attacked the middle of the field almost all year. And we came out running a bunch of stuff that Oklahoma ran against Alabama, and we ran it flawlessly. If we see some of that against LSU, as a matter of fact, if our offense is rolling in general, I don't think LSU has a chance in this game. We're not the ones that have to go against Brent Venables. They are. Yeah. And so, I like Dave Aranda. He's great. But, I watched him even when he was at Wisconsin. He tends to sit back and, kind of let the offense make a mistake. But if our offense is humming and, he tries to play us that way, Clemson's going to take what you give him, man. Yeah. And LSU does not want to see us after the second quarter on the rest of the game. But, and then I think whoever punts 3 to 4 times is probably going to lose this game.
Yeah, I agree.
These teams are identical.
All the talk is about LSU's defense. LSU's offense, for good reason because of what they're doing. I can't believe more people aren't talking about Clemson's offense. If you look at probably the first 2 series on offense for Clemson, you're going to see everything. You're going to see them run the ball up the middle. You're going to see them throw the ball in the perimeter. You're going to see them throw down the field on the hash marks. You're going to see them throw over the middle. They're testing the defense to see what they can get. Now, what we saw with Ohio State was they were stopping the run up the middle with Etienne. They were doing pretty good on the perimeter. Higgins was out for the first half, so that's hard to judge.
Right.
But so what did they do? They started running Trevor Lawrence heavy, and they started putting Etienne out on the perimeter and giving the ball in space. So they can beat you 6 different ways, and they just need to know how they got to do it before they do it. So now, listen, the same thing goes for LSU. They can do all those exact same things that Clemson can do on offense. But the thing I can't wrap my head around when listening to people dissect how this game will end up as far as X's and O's is all they talk about is Joe Burrow and what he can do to Clemson's defense. I don't hear anybody talking about what Trevor Lawrence and Etienne and Higgins and Ross and Rodgers and all these guys can do to their defense. So that's, when all things are equal on offense, which I think they are for both these teams, I'm taking the team with the better defense and the better defensive coordinator, and I think that's Clemson. That doesn't mean they'll win, but that's who I got my money on if I'm betting it.
Same here, man.
Yeah.
Same here. I like LSU's defense. I know a lot of people, crap on them. I did a little bit of research into the numbers because I've watched most of LSU's games, except ironically the Auburn game and the Ole Miss game. Now, when I looked at their run defense in particular, their run defense is actually, about equal to ours. If you take away the Ole Miss game, they only give up about 97 rush yards a game. Now, looking at their defensive line, man, those guys. I know you've seen it on TV. They average like 6'3", 321 pounds. They're hard to move. Mm-hmm. But if, we got some really strong guys on our offensive line, man. Gage Cervenka, didn't he bench about 225 like 44 times 2 years ago? So he's probably going to break a combine record, man.
Yeah, listen, people were trashing Clemson's offensive line, saying, "Oh, they're undersized," and they've been facing these ACC defenses all year. Chase Young's gonna wreck. Yeah. He's gonna wreck the game. Jackson Carman straight handled Chase Young the entire game by himself. They didn't double. They barely double teamed him in a boot. And so, listen, the offensive line for Clemson is legit. That's not the weakness on the team. And I don't really think there is a weakness if I don't want to use that term, but the weakest part of the team is probably the defensive line, and that's just through experience and age. But the back seven and what Venables can do with these versatile players and Simmons and Skalski and the cornerbacks and safeties can make up for that. So This is going to be a chess match, and you're talking about probably the two best defensive coordinators in the country. And people said, oh, LSU's defensive coordinator, he ain't all that. He's not Venables. Well, you know what? The paycheck says different. He's the second highest paid defensive coordinator in the country behind Brent Venables. And he's no joke, and they got some studs on that side of the football too. So it's going to be a chess match, but it doesn't really matter what plays you draw up, what schemes you draw up. The players got to play, and they got to execute. And I trust – for obvious reasons, I trust Clemson to be able to execute when the game's on the line, because they've proven that they can do that over and over and over again.
Right. Hey, Pete, just a couple more things, and I'll go ahead and get off. The one, I just want to say that we need to bring the intensity that Ohio State brought against us. That's something I did not bank on. They were hitting us in the mouth a lot and often. If we do that to LSU, I think we walk through that game with no problems, honestly, because we've been hit in the mouth and we've responded, but we haven't done it to anybody in a while, except for, Alabama, but we didn't really hit them in the mouth. They came back and scored. But Ohio State, they hit us in the mouth and they buried us. If we can jump on LSU like that, man, that'd be awesome. But as far as the defenses LSU's face, a lot of their fans and a lot of people that are picking them are saying, well, they face the top defenses and they face this many top 10 teams. Well, I understand a lot of those teams are not even ranked where they were when they started the season. But those defenses didn't have any offenses to complement them. So when you have Georgia on the field for 90% of the time, you're going to score about 30-something points on them. Georgia did very well against LSU on defense.
Yeah. If you don't have any help on offense, your defense is doomed from the jump. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was great talking to you, Pete. Man, I really appreciate you having me, man.
All right, man. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Good afternoon. You're on with Pete.
Hey, Big Scheme Pete.
Hey, what's up? Who am I speaking with?
This is Pat from New York.
Hey, what's up?
Second-time caller, long-time listener.
All right, man. I appreciate it. What you got for me?
I was thinking about the over-under. Have you seen the over-under for the LSU game?
69.5. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. Do you believe that? Is that out of hand, or is that whacked out for you? Or
No.
Legit?
Yeah. Well, first of all, most of the time Vegas is legit on those on those numbers. So, I've been saying all along, I think it'll be 40 to 35, 45 to 40, somewhere in that range. So I think over is probably the easy bet in this game, honestly. Especially if either one of these if either one of these teams gets out to a quick start, scores 14 points in the first quarter or something, we already know that the vast majority of the points listen, if you're a bettor, this isn't just for Clemson and LSU, this is just all games. The vast majority of points are always scored in the third and fourth quarter because the defenses get worn down and the offenses make adjustments and all that. So if you see a 25-28 total between the two teams in the first quarter, it'll go way over. I'd bet over.
I'm thinking the same thing too. I think I'm going to bet the over. But I think if they have the special teams come out, and if the special player would be Jonathan Taylor-Thomas with a Binford 5000, fantastic, taking the over right away. I would bet $100 on it in a second.
Jonathan Taylor-Thomas, huh?
Yeah, I was thinking if he did that, but also something for the chat room. Hey, it's the Cum Boys. We about to come. We're coming.
Yeah, he was wanting to know about the over-under, and he went way over his talking time there. Good afternoon. You're on with Pete.
Hello?
Yep.
Hey, it's McD Sports 4. How are you doing, Pigskin Pete?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey. So I think the Tigers are going to win the championship. So, 38-36 Tigers. Oh, the both mascots are Tigers. Crap. LSU is going to win. Okay. That's my fault. I accidentally forgot both mascots were Tigers there for a second.
Where do you think that the trophy will be hoisted? At what city?
West City, is it going to be hoisted at?
Mm-hmm.
The championship's in New Orleans. So it'll be hosted there. I absolutely forgot both mascots are Tigers. That's absolutely my bad right there. But I think LSU's going to beat them by 2 because I just think it's LSU's year. I think Clemson's going to hold them really. They're going to play well, Clemson, but I just think they're going to come up a bit short.
Are you going to put money on the game?
No, because I'm not an LSU fan. I mean,
right.
So
yeah,
that just wanted my 2 cents on the game.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call.
So,
I appreciate the 2 cents. So the Tigers are going to win, and the trophy is going to be hoisted in New Orleans. And you think that I don't know what you think. What'd you say you thought again?
I just think it's LSU's year. Okay. So the LSU Tigers are going to win by 2.
Yeah. Well, was 2019 LSU's year, or is 2020 LSU's year?
Well, the way I look at it is, to me, this championship will go to like the 2019 season. So that's why I kind of sit there and say, like, this championship is the 2019 championship. Like, I wish everything was done by the end of the year, honestly, in college football.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing, isn't it? They have the on their jerseys. Yeah. They're going to have 2020 patch on their jersey, but they'll call it the 2019 National Championship. Kind of confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, McD, I'm going to pick up this other call, but I appreciate the call, brother.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, man. Good afternoon. You're on with Pete.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Pete. It's me, Isaiah.
Hey, what's up, Isaiah? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Listen, I just got a few questions.
Okay.
First one, what is it with South Carolina fans anyway?
What in particular do you want to know about them?
All I ever heard from is that their 5-game win streaks against y'all. I mean, how long was that really? And that they're like, I don't know. They always keep bragging about how they're going to beat y'all. Always bragging how Clemson's trash and they doesn't ever play anybody. And I don't know. I really don't understand them. They're in the SEC. I mean, I really never understand the mind of a Gamecock at all.
Well, to understand the mind of a Gamecock would be to go full tard. So you probably won't ever understand the mind of a Gamecock. The 5-game win streak against Clemson was the best accomplishment they've ever had in 100-something years. And as far as Clemson not playing anybody, they're absolutely right about that. And of all the cupcakes on Clemson's schedule every year, they are at the top of the list.
Wow. I just feel you gotta feel sad for these sorry bastards.
No, I don't feel sorry for them. No.
All right. So look, I just want to wish you all the best of luck next week, and I hope they don't get blown out, man. I hope they finish the season strong. I mean, if they win or lose, people are going to keep hating y'all, man. I look at the comments. I mean, the comments are all vile. I really don't understand the hate between Dabo and this team. I mean, this is a very good program. I mean, everyone's saying that you guys are now paying players to come here now.
Right. Well, listen, as far as people hating Clemson, the more the better. If you're not being hated on in life, you're not doing anything in life. That's number one. And as far as the accusations about paying players and cheating and paying the refs and this and that, this is a valuable lesson in life. This is not just about football, by the way, because, people who are successful in life, the people who aren't always try to make excuses for why successful people are successful. So winners win and losers bitch about winners. That's all there is to it. Anybody who wants to make accusations about cheating, they need to prove it. Otherwise, well, I was about to say something else. Otherwise, move on.
Right, Pete. Yeah, that's all I got to say. All right. Good night, Pete. Take care, all right? Go Tigers.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You too.
All right. That's going to end the calls. And I will go into the chat and answer some questions in there with the remaining time. And because of the calls, I haven't had a chance to really scan the chat room. So if you guys have been in here and commenting, I appreciate it. And I apologize for not acknowledging you. Country Tigers in the house, Jordan Bowman. Block this 08. Don't tell me to block you, because I will. It's very easy for me to do. Steez 100. I got $2,000 on this game. Who'd you bet on, dude? $2,000. You better have bet on Clemson with that kind of money. I don't care who you're a fan of. To bet $2,000 on LSU is a fool's bet. Travis Daisy, LSU 45, DeReal, Death Valley 31, he says. P. Digits is in the house. Captain Trips. Matthew, damn, some of these names. He sounds like the guy, Maryland. Yeah, McD Sports 4 is the Maryland guy that calls in. That was him. Jesse Sullivan. HB. SEC Dog. How you doing, sir? Marco Polo. Who was that? Captain Tripp said USC junior fans are 80% inbred. Heather Ty. How drunk are these people? I don't know. Obviously, I need to start drinking more. I'm not near on some of these people's level. Dennis Wilson. Tristan Anderson, 38-27, Clemson. Yeah. I don't know. I tend to think these national championship games, especially when you're talking about two teams with quarterbacks and receivers and running backs as good as these teams have. I don't care how good the defense is. I think these national championship games usually go into the 40s, at least in the high 30s. I'd be shocked if this one didn't do the same. It's a great time to be a Clemson Tiger. Yes, of course it is. I don't think anybody can argue with that. Triple X Juice World. Damn, that's a hell of a net. You bet 20K on Clemson? I don't know if you're serious or not. Watch this be the biggest upset of 2020. I don't even really know how people can call Clemson beating LSU an upset. I mean, in Vegas terms, it's an upset because they're an underdog. But I don't really think most people will be surprised by that. Cool EO. This could be the best game of the decade. Don't follow my LSU fan about the blowout. They are wrong. Yeah. Oh, well. You're a smart one. By the way, I missed some super chats. I see some more coming in. LSU Scooter says, Trevor eats a booger, a must watch, and he leaves a link there. If you guys really want to go click that link and watch, have at it. But thank you for the $5. Unfortunately, I think everybody's already seen that video probably about 4 million times of him picking his nose. But thank you for that. George Jensen, $2 super chat, RIP Pat. And I'm not going to read the rest of that. Captain Trips with a $2 super chat. Can we get your NFL picks for this weekend? Yes, you can. Why not? Let's do it. So what do we got? We got Kansas City and Houston. I don't know. Houston already beat Kansas City this year and Kansas City. So I'm going to go with Houston. But I don't know. That's a hard game to pick. What's the other ones here? We got San Francisco and Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. I'm taking San Francisco in that one. Then what's the other AFC game? Baltimore and who's Baltimore playing? Hold on. Yeah, who's Baltimore playing? Tennessee. I'm taking Baltimore. I'm taking Baltimore to win the whole thing. So that'll go ahead and answer all those questions. I think that Baltimore is the most complete team in football. Have been for a while. So I'm picking Baltimore to win the entire thing. All right, so I'm picking Baltimore over Tennessee. The other AFC game is who? Who is the other AFC game? Somebody said all favorites. Are those all favorites? Is Houston favored over Kansas City? I don't think they are. SEC Dog says Taters say Ohio State is the natty game. Well, I still believe that. Coolio. Last video I commented, it was the comment right after the last one you read. I was sad. I don't know, dude. I don't know which comment you're talking about. Right after the last one I read a lot of them. Hundreds, if not thousands. Jordan Bowman, BT Potter will not get it done. I hope it does not come down to Potter kicking to win this game. I love BT Potter, but come on. The guy's a heart attack on a field. Fresh supply of tater juice on the way to New Orleans. Yeah. Nobody has answered my question about what the other AFC game is. I'm just having a brain fart. Oh, we've also got Green Bay and what is it? Green Bay and Seattle, right? Is that right? I'll pick Seattle in that. I think that's right. Yeah, Seahawks and Packers. I'm picking Seattle in that game. I can't remember what the other. I already said Texans and Chiefs. I said Texans, and I said Baltimore. There's one more AFC game though. I don't know. Somebody call in. I already shut down the call-in studio, so nobody can call in, unfortunately. So thank you to all the callers that did call in, though. If you didn't call in when I had the lines open, then you missed your opportunity. I apologize. Oh, no, that's all. Okay. Do you think Clemson will finally get the number one spot next year if they win 2 times in a row? Well, they had it this year, and they kept winning and kept dropping. So, I don't know. Mark Dudley. Mark, I haven't seen you in a long time, sir. $5 super chat. He says, how long has it been? Had to show up since you have college football legends like Tiger Nation, SEC Dog, Captain Trips, Billy Dawson, Dennis Wilson, and to GOAT. Well, thank you, Mark Dudley. I think Mark Dudley thinks that I don't like him for some reason. We had a disagreement offline, but that's not the case at all. I don't have any problem with you, Mark, and I appreciate you stopping in. And, of course, for the donation, you should hang around. I think Mark Dudley might be the only Michigan fan on here. Pretty sure he is. Big Mick. Way too early has been predicted Clemson as a preseason number 1, regardless of the outcome of the Natty. I just don't care. Look, I don't know how long you guys have been following me. I know a lot of you have been for a year or two. When it comes to the AP rankings, I pay little to no attention to them. So I could care less where they could be ranked 20th and I wouldn't care. But that's just the way it goes. The only rankings I care about are the college football playoff rankings. I'm glad we faced Ohio State. Had we beaten Oklahoma 63-28, everybody would say what? Everybody say what? Oh, everybody say we suck. Yeah, well, everyone says that anyway. Tiger Cat with a super chat says, here's to a good game, Pete, and thanks for taking my call. Well, thank you for calling. This call-in show would not work without the callers. So don't thank me. I thank you. And there needs to be more women call into the show. Tiger Cat's the first one to do it. So let her start a trend. Bobby Durkins is in the house. Did I just read that? He sure is. He says he's trying to call in. I shut down the calls already. What's up, Melissa May? All right, guys. It's been a great show. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. I have to get off. I could sit here all night and talk to you guys. You guys are all amazing. You guys are all fantastic. I don't know if I'll be back on live between now and Monday night. If I can, I will. But I do have some plans this weekend with the family. I'm not going live for the game. I've had people ask me that as well. There's just no way possible that I can do that. It's just not going to happen. I will be on after the game immediately to get my reaction, win or lose. And if we lose, I'll be a stand-up guy and congratulate LSU and move on. If we win, it might be a different type of video altogether. But I'm sure if we win, I'll be emotional and I'll be genuine on the video as far as that goes. Monday afternoon, I will be on Mark Rogers' show live. So you guys are fans of Mark Rogers, make sure you check him out Monday afternoon, and I'll be on there. Other than that, thank you guys. Thank you to all the callers. Thank you to all of the super chatters. Thank you to all the commenters. If you're new here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all of that. We do these college football streams and videos year round, not just during the season. Anyways, I guess that's it for me, guys. I will see you guys very soon. Thank you for tuning in. Pigskin Pete is checking out.